What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about a very cool new light that's actually keying me right now. It is the Zhiyun Mackey X100 RGB Light. So it came in this awesome package. It is very Mackey vibes. And we are going to dig into everything that it comes with. Zhiyun was kind enough to send me the Pro package, so it came with some additional accessories that really come in handy. So my idea for this video actually came from Greg Fraser. When he was making his interview and podcast rounds when Rogue One and Lion came out, he talked a lot about how he lit the majority of the film Lion using 3 digital Sputnik lights. Now, LED technology has come a very long way since then. But when that movie came out, digital Sputnik was kind of the new guy in town. They were these small kind of cube lights that had multiple LED chips in them that gave really accurate color, and at the time had pretty good output. Now, I would say the output has gotten like insane. And we will definitely dig into that shortly with this light because it has a tremendous amount of power. But in hearing about that story, how he basically took 3 digital Sputnik lights with him to India and lit almost the whole film, it really inspired me. I'm pretty minimal when it comes to lighting. I like things to look kind of natural. So DPs like Greg Fraser and Brad Young are kind of like my heroes in that sense. So I asked myself, how much damage can you do with just one small light? And that's exactly what we're gonna explore. I left my apartment in Los Angeles, came to Big Bear, and I purposefully only packed one light, the Mackey X100 RGB. We are going to explore different setups that you can achieve just using one versatile light. We're going to do some interior shots and some exterior shots, both daytime and nighttime, just using the X100. We're going to show how you can use it as a hard light, a backlight, a key light, a soft light using its softbox, and just how small and portable it is so you can put it in all kinds of scenarios. And to kick it off, this is basically our first setup. I can't show you the light because I only brought one light and it's the one I'm using. Right now we just have it bounced into the cabin ceiling at 16%. That's it, 16%. Literally bounce into a wood ceiling that is already soaking up a large amount of that light because it's darker colored. And it is still giving me a very nice soft key just bouncing off the ceiling. So let me find a place that's a little brighter in here and we'll take a look at the light, the features, and then we will get into the setups. So let's take a look at what comes with this light. See you soon. Here is the light and how it comes. So this is the Mackey Zhiyun Collab Light X100. Really nice case. Okay, so here is the light. It has these awesome pouches here. There's some paperwork and stuff, but I would probably put things like a light stand attachment in here, which is the only thing this doesn't come with. It kind of does and it kind of doesn't, and I'll get to that in a sec. It comes with a Bones mount that does have a light stand attachment, but this doesn't actually come with one in the case. Here's the light itself. It is really, really pretty. It has all the information that will be displayed here, and it has this nice big fan on the back because this thing does get pretty hot. It literally burnt a hole in my carpet because I was being stupid and I set it down and I didn't realize that these exposed LED chips get so hot now because there's so much power in these. But yeah, here's the LED chip. It has a nice little cover for it. Definitely don't leave this on when you're using it. Take it off. And then it has these nice knobs that allow you to control all of the menu systems. I'm not going to go into the menu system because it's really self-explanatory. It has your color balance setting. It goes, I think, from like 10,000 all the way to 2,500 Kelvin. And you can just adjust output. And then you use this knob to scroll down and you can adjust the temperature. It has the color RGB setting, HSI I think it's called, and that will be all of the different hues that you can do out of this, so you can get the entire spectrum of colors on this as well as saturation. And then it has an effects one where you can do pretty much your standard light effects, lightning, paparazzi, fireworks. This thing is uniquely tiny. This pops off to expose a battery door for a very smart feature that it comes with, which is an external battery that you can simply click into place and then have full control over the light, keeping it, again, very, very small. So we can actually turn it on here. Ooh, there we go. Very bright. Again, this is at 16%. Let me lower it down to like 1%. It also has like really nice step up as far as the intensity. It's very gradual. And that's at 100%. Extremely bright light. And again, if we go to the back, you can see what I mean on the control panel here. Very easy to just toggle, and then you just click in for faster function, and then you click in on this one to change over to colors. This, you can actually control the actual RGB percentage of the color. And here we have different effects. And then we go back to our regular white balance mode. So extremely powerful light. I'm gonna turn it off here. And then you just click here to disengage the battery. I'm gonna put that back in here. And then this big empty spot, I think there's a USB-C, so you can power this via USB-C, and it does come with your standard, DC power. It's just not in here because it's not pretty to look at. So let's take a quick look at what else this light comes with. So it has its own proprietary little mount, but you actually can attach a Bowens mount adapter. So it has a little reflector in here, which will increase the output a little bit. And then you can attach any Bowens mount accessory to the light. And this does come with a nice little light stand right here, which is great. Oh, and I totally forgot. This comes with one additional feature under here, which is so cool, and we will definitely use this. It is a nice little reflector. So it's kind of like a Fresnel. It'll make it a little more spotlighty and increase the output. And then it comes with magnetized barn doors that you just clip on there. And you have this really clean, nice little attachment that can just go right on to the light. And some sweet labeling here. And really solid build too, extremely solid build quality. All right, I'm gonna kind of leave that out because we're gonna use this pretty soon. We talked about the Bowens mount. Last thing it comes with in this little case here, comes with this awesome softbox. It's not huge, about a foot, but it really gets the job done. I used it on my previous video and it was a very nice soft light. It has one layer of diffusion kind of in the middle like a normal softbox, and then one up top. And then it comes with this nice grid so you can direct the light more. And it does use their proprietary mount. And it is super easy to, like any softbox, but this one for some reason is just quicker, snappier, much easier to use. So let's actually dig into some setups with this stuff. All right, I think first setup is gonna be in this kitchen. It is way too dark. I'm gonna bump this back up to 6400. All right, we are back at 6400. So I'm gonna do my first kind of cinematic setup in this kitchen. We're gonna switch to the Blazar anamorphic, and I think I will just be leaning maybe here. And what we wanna do is kind of pretend like some of this window light is coming in and wrapping around my face a little bit. So my guess is I'm gonna Cardellini the light right here, and we're gonna bounce it into the ceiling and just kind of allow this to wrap around my face a little bit. And because the warm wood is the ceiling, it is warm, it'll change the color temperature, we're gonna use the white balance and raise it up, probably, I don't know, something like 6,000 or 7,000 to combat the warm wood a little bit. So having that large range of color temperature really helps in situations like this. And we also want it moody, but bright enough that we can see outside this window a little bit. It is a small window, but we're in Big Bear. There's some beautiful trees and scenery out here. So I want to be able to see outside the window at least a little. So let's go ahead and start setting this up and see what we got. All right, got my Cardellini. We're gonna go ahead and clamp to here. Now guys, on a real set, you're gonna wanna put pieces of wood and cloth between the Cardellini and whatever you're clamping to. Because this light is so small, I'm just not gonna clamp that hard. That's nice right there. Now I have a little mount to light it onto a stand or a Cardellini. Again, this did not come with the light. I wish it did, but that's okay. These are not that expensive. Remember to take this off or you will burn a hole in it. And then this can just clamp on to the Cardellini really nice and easy like that. And we are just going to angle it a little towards me. There we go. Now we got to attach power. I realized you guys couldn't see what I was doing because this big thing is in the way here, but well, you still kind of can't see, but this is where the light is now. Now, luckily we have a power outlet just in the kitchen right here. So I'm gonna set that up, and hopefully on the day, this will be out of frame when we actually do our shot. All right, so I'm actually going to use these cupboards. Again, on a real set, we would clean this up a lot more. But for now, because there's these cupboards, I'm actually just gonna put the battery brick up here and wrap this around and tuck it over up here. That way, the cables are, for the most part, out of the shot. All right, clean enough with 0 grip gear. I think this, except 1 Cardellini, gets the job done. Let's power this on. Whoa, okay, that's at 100%. Now we can drop the camera back down to 800 ISO. Okay, now we're at 800. Now, obviously there's a lot going on. It's very bright, it's very warm, the spill is kind of crazy. So we're gonna try to clean all of this up a little bit. First off, let's change the color temperature. We're gonna want this, I think, pretty cold. I like this cold look, so let's just put it at 10,000. We're gonna want it a lot lower. Let's go ahead and put it at, I don't know, I want this pretty moody. Let's put it at like, what is that, 20%? 20%, and now we're gonna try and clean some stuff up a little bit. The anamorphic glass will obviously kind of get rid of some of the stuff happening up here. I think I will be about here. So it's not terrible. I think I wanna angle this a little inward. Kind of hitting there, but I don't mind that too much. I think we are ready to start dialing this in. I'm gonna throw anamorphic glass on here, neutral density, so we can see outside the window. I'm just gonna adjust some things, but the next thing you're gonna see is the final shot. And just know that this is, whatever I change, this is gonna be the base. Like, this is basically all we're doing. The light to a Cardellini, and when we set our final shot up, I'll just tell you what changed, if anything. All right, so I think our final shot is something like this. All I did was raise the intensity of the light. Maybe it was at 20%. I think I raised it to about 50, and then I put some ND on the lens. And that's it. So this is kind of our scene here. Somebody just standing here, sort of contemplating life. I miss the Power Rangers. Anyway, pretty quick, pretty simple. On a real set, I'm sure we would finesse this a little more, but you guys get the idea. Basically, all I'm trying to say in this setup is that this light can definitely be used and is powerful enough to bounce into things, bounce into ceilings, bounce into walls, bounce into the floor. It's a great light to bounce things because it is super powerful. Again, 50%. We're at 50% here, that's it. Anyway, let's get to our next setup, which I think we will do outside and see if this thing can beat the sunlight. All right, guys, now we are outside. So this is kind of like a gazebo situation. You can see here, there is a kind of a plasticky glass overhead. So it does take down the overall light a little bit, and there's a lot of trees around. And then we kind of have this mosquito netting surrounding the area. We're gonna stay in N-Log for this setup too, and we're gonna stay on my Tamron zoom lens, because I think this would be more of kind of like a interview setup. Like, what if you're sort of out in the middle of nowhere and you want to do a nice little interview? So we are actually going to have the light on battery power. We're going to put the softbox on it, and that's all we're going to do. We're just going to see how bright it is with that softbox, see if it can combat kind of this shaded area to give me just a little bit more light on my face to bring me out a little bit. So let's get into that right now. All right, so as you can see, it is in the shot, but we can see it does give you a nice little kiss on the face. So if I zoom in here, gonna lean back a little bit, but basically zoom in until it's out of the frame. All right, we're zoomed in, it is out of the frame, and it does give me a nice little kiss. It's just kind of wraps the backlight around nicely. In an interview setting, I'd probably be talking to somebody right here, so it would look something like this. No, seriously, I really miss the Power Rangers. So in a pinch, this thing can combat daylight, at least in kind of a shaded area like this. And this is with the softbox on with double diffusion and the grid. If I take the grid off, you'll probably see the output is a bit more. And if I take the full softbox off, significantly more, but we just don't want like a harsh light on me. But because we're out here already, let's see what happens if we put the Fresnel on and use this as a backlight. Let's see how kind of hard we can get this backlight. All right, if we zoom back out, this is with the Fresnel. You can see it on here right now, and with the, whoa, don't look at it when it's on, with the barn doors. So actually in a scenario like this, because this is so powerful, I would probably punch this through some diffusion. So I would do like a 4x4 right here and punch this through it, because this little Fresnel attachment creates such a strong source of light. So the softbox still does work outside, but it's more, as you saw, kind of like a kiss of light. I don't have diffusion with me because I pretty much just brought this setup, but if I did, that's probably what I would do out here. But as mentioned, let's zoom back in and see what this looks like as a backlight. Not so much a backlight, more of kind of a side kicker, but this is with the battery attachment and the Fresnel attachment at, I would say, a good like 6 feet away. So even 6 feet away, it is punching through all that daylight and just giving me a nice kiss on my cheek here. That is a very, very impressive amount of output. So we did a moody daytime interior, and we did a kind of an interview setup exterior, as well as showing you how strong this Fresnel lens is. So now I think we are going to wait until nighttime and see what this thing can do in the dark. And real quick, while we have the attachment on, we are inside here. It's very dark. There's just a little bit of window light coming through here. Just to show you again, on an inside setting, which is most of the stuff you might be shooting with lights like these are interiors, we're gonna throw the Fresnel light on here and show you just how bright it is. All right, so that's the Fresnel on an inside interior with the battery power. So it's not plugged into a wall or anything. We can just fly around with this thing. What's really cool is with the barn doors, you can really sort of cut the light and shape the light, at least with a little more control than you normally would have, instead of just having an exposed Fresnel. For example, I just kind of shaped the barn doors and closed it down a little bit, so now we just have this nice wash. So if I was a character that was more here and I had maybe a key light on my face here, which I don't, because like I said, I only brought one light with me on this trip, this would be a great thing to use as kind of splashing a background. All right, so now we are going to wait until nighttime and finish up different ways that we can use this Mackey X100 light. Hey guys, we are back. I was waiting for it to get dark out. I took a nice, beautiful long walk on the bridge by the lake there. And now I'm enjoying a wonderful non-alcoholic Heineken. So it's dark out, we can light our next scene. And for interiors, I would always motivate people to use practicals. Now in this scenario, this cabin, as you can see, has some pretty questionable overhead, like fluorescent color lighting. I don't want to insult it because this cabin is really, really beautiful. I did wish they had like warm lighting. So we obviously can't use that. I just turned them on because I needed exposure so you guys can see who's talking. But there is another practical we can use, and it is this nice little tungsten lamp right here. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this on. Gives a really beautiful warm color. And now we just have to set up our shot. So if this practical is our motivation, I'm gonna set the camera over here and kind of shoot down this way. And we're gonna sort of pretend I'm just having like a lonely night drinking by myself, which I used to do quite often, but I have been sober from alcohol for over a year now, which is amazing. And we can still enjoy our NA beers and have a nice peaceful night like tonight. So we're gonna get a scene with the camera over here on the Blazar Mantis shooting this way. Now the practical is obviously from this angle is only going to backlight me. There's not gonna really be much right here. And that's where the X100 comes in. So we are going to put the softbox on it here. We have the grid on it so it won't spill all over the place. And we can just use that to sort of kiss this side of my face and wrap around a little bit. And then again, we'll be shooting this way. But the next time you'll see this shot, it will be all set up from over here. See you then. Now, I just wanted to show you guys that without any key light, for just using a practical, obviously it's not usable. It's just, you know, you can't see me. So now let's finesse this shot a little bit and see what happens. Man, I just really miss Power Rangers. So that's the shot. We're still shooting in N-Log. Blazar 50mm at a 2.8. The only thing I did while I was setting up the shot that I didn't mention to you guys, I didn't like how bright this practical was. So I actually raised the output of the X100 to about 60%, and then I put ND on the lens, so it brought everything back down, and now this feels a lot more balanced and a lot nicer. So that's it for a nighttime interior. Now let's do the last on the list, a nighttime exterior using our one light. This one might be a little challenging, but let's give it a try. Okay, hey guys, we are outside. It is pitch black outside. Big Bear does not have a lot of lights, which is actually beautiful. It makes it really pretty, but you can kind of see, well, you kind of can't see, but there's just trees behind me. There is a little mosquito, like clear fencing, but there's just trees, and I'm using my phone light. So what we're gonna do, we're in that same spot we were before outside, where it has this kind of plasticky glass overhead, but it's sort of tinted, which means it can reflect. Light won't just shoot right through it. It can actually reflect a little bit of light back. So we have the X100 to my right here, and we're just gonna bounce it straight into here, and enough to kind of give it some shape on my face and just show you guys sort of like a very soft moonlight type of look. Now, if you're working in nighttime exteriors with nothing except one light, this is as good as you're gonna get. Obviously, you need a lot more G&E to properly light a nighttime exterior, but you know, we're gonna try our best with just using this one light, and we'll show you guys what we got. Okay, here you have it. All I did was pump the light up here at 10,000 Kelvin, full 100%, and I did put the Nikon ZR in its second base ISO of 6400, and then we're bringing it down in post a little bit. So yeah, it's a pretty nice look, very soft light, could be kind of like a moonlight. If I had more G&E, I would definitely light the background. I'd put kind of hard streaks through the trees, things like that. Maybe some warmer practicals around just to kind of make the colors more interesting. But there you have it. There's 4 different setups using the Zhiyun X100 RGB Light, the Mackey Collab light. This thing is amazing. I've been running it mostly just on the battery for all these setups. This is living in my kit. Living, it's coming with me everywhere. And for these setups, we didn't even do RGB. We didn't even do any color. Actually, I'm gonna do that really quick right now because it can do it. All right, we'll end this video on a nice violet because Mandy is like one of my favorite films and I love this color. But yeah, that is the light. It is so versatile. There's so much you can do with it. Thank you, Zhiyun, for sending me this light. I will be using it everywhere. And if you want to purchase it, there is a link below. Mackey, nice job. This collab light is incredible, and I will see you guys on the next one.